Hey guys, Tonyman here again. This is a video response to one of my own videos entitled "What is your political history?" or I think that was it. In it, I asked people to go over their political history, what were their politics, over time, and what were the influences that changed them. I made that before I had any subscribers or anything, or that many friends that probably paid attention to my videos. So now that I have a few subscribers, I'd like to actually know what you guys like. What are your political beliefs, and how have they changed over time? And this will actually be a video detailing my political history. My political history started, I guess, during 2000, when I first paid attention to a presidential election. And I would define my political beliefs at that time as Republican. Not really for any good reason. For the main part, they were the political party of my father. And I guess at that time I assumed that was a pretty good reason. Then in 2004, at the for Bush's second election, at that time, I would say I had arguments for my Republicanism. So I would probably say I was a Republican at that time because I was able to debate the points. But again, I really hadn't looked into it that much. I had just watched, the commercials, seen the debates, and listened to my father, and But as I was paying attention, and as I started, learning about more and more of the different political philosophies, my political beliefs started to change. And I would assume that one of the big aspects of my change in my political beliefs was probably after I became an atheist. For some reason, that just puts you more to the left on social issues. Basically, because many atheists are on the left of social issues, and I talked to a lot of them, and I guess they convinced me of certain issues and stuff, and that the Republicans just don't stand for. For instance, gay marriage. Many Republicans are against gay marriage. Many atheists on the left are for gay marriage. But and after my Republicanism, and after all that, I looked into the Libertarian Party, and I would say I really believed in libertarianism, and I considered myself on the left. Although now I would actually say I was still on the right. I think libertarianism, in the libertarianism branch of the Libertarian Party, how the Libertarian Party defines libertarianism, which I would call right libertarianism. Not right as in correct, but on the right. That form of libertarianism, was very much conservative in economic views, in that, complete free market almost. But then as I started looking into other political beliefs, I started looking into socialism. And really, it all started when I was debating. I was looking into what socialism was, and I was hearing people debate about it. And I really hadn't looked into socialism that much. And I read the Communist Manifesto by Karl Marx. And I actually really liked the Communist Manifesto, even when I was a libertarian. And after I read it, I started considering, the points, but at that time I had a really biased view of what socialism was. So when I read Marx, I thought that all forms of socialism were state socialism, when the state controlled everything, and I didn't agree with that. So I became a libertarian after reading Communist Manifesto and looking into socialism. I was still libertarian, but it really changed my beliefs about economic manners and how corporations should be handled via the government. And I don't know if it was fair to call me a libertarian at that point. That's how I defined myself, but I guess I would be more of a liberal at that point. But I would actually have to say I started looking into other forms of not anarchism, but socialism, after I was learning about non-state forms of socialism, you know, democratic socialism and libertarian socialism and such. And I started reading a lot of books by Noam Chomsky, seeing his views on foreign policy and stuff. He's got a lot of good videos, or books. A lot of good videos on YouTube also. But I read his book, Chomsky on Anarchism, which is really good. But that was actually after I became an anarchist. But, you know, anarchism had everything that I thought was that, you know, one needed. You know, as a libertarian, I believed in small government and the government shouldn't interfere. But with somebody who had a very good interest in Marx and socialism, I didn't believe in capitalism. So in libertarian socialism or anarchism, however you want to define it, the two ideas came together for me. So I support somewhere in that region. Although, you know, as I was talking about earlier, you know, I have a very deep interest in Marxism. I don't know if I could consider myself a Marxist. I don't agree with everything Marx said, and I think Marxism is too specific for me. I don't like defining myself so narrowly. So I like to define myself. You know, I agree with most of what Marx says, but I don't know. You know, I agree with maybe 90% of what he says. I don't know if that's enough to consider myself a Marxist. But I would have to say that my political beliefs at this time would probably be around libertarian socialism and anarchism. Okay. That's basically my history of my political beliefs. I hope to see some of you guys post a response or a comment or something. Alright, you guys have a good day.